Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Turner, I want to be sure I understand your testimony. You think prison labor should be voluntary? Is that the ACLU position? Okay. And do you think,
I'm sorry, my microphone was off, if I may answer on my...
Yes, ma'am. Did you answer yes?
My answer is that the majority of incarcerated workers wish to work, but it is vital that that work be truly voluntary and that there is no place for forced labor in the United States. Yes.
Okay. And you think that prisoners who do work are underpaid? Is that the ACLU position?
They are underpaid or unpaid. In your state, many of those workers are unpaid.
Okay. Let's take a maintenance worker, which I assume includes people working in the kitchen. What do you think the starting pay ought to be in my state for a prisoner?
Workers should be paid the minimum wage of the state where they live. And there are true fiscal arguments in favor
minimum
of this.
Wage? Is that
minimum wage, yes.
Do you think prisoners should have a 401k?
I think that, my opinion is not what we're asking about. I'm here to provide information and context for the committee.
Do you think prisoners should be provided with a 401k?
Welcome to Liberty Trigger. Folks, you're not going to believe what I just watched. Senator Kennedy grilled an ACLU representative, Ms. Turner, about prison labor. And what she said, well, buckle up, because this is where the radical left wants to take us. First off, the ACLU's position is clear. They want prison labor to be completely voluntary. Doesn't matter if you've been convicted of a serious crime. Doesn't matter if you're serving time for harming innocent people. No. According to them, it's all about making sure these folks feel comfortable and well paid. She actually said prisoners should be paid state minimum wage. Think about that for a second. You've got hard-working Americans out here struggling to make ends meet, paying taxes, fighting inflation every day. And she wants convicted criminals to make the same wage? Folks, that is insanity. That's not justice. That's rewarding crime.
If I may answer, the reality is that if we paid incarcerated workers a minimum wage, it would have net fiscal benefits for the United States.
I'm trying to ask you
workers would be able to
about benefits.
Yes.
Do you think they should be provided with a 401k?
Workers should be eligible to earn into the social safety net. If they're paid minimum wage, workers will be able to earn into Social Security benefits to support themselves.
No?
That does not include a 401k, but I'm talking about basic social safety net.
Do you think prisoners should be entitled to paid vacation?
Workers should be entitled to workers' compensation when they're injured or maimed on the job, which happens all too often.
So they should be covered under our workers' comp law?
Yes, absolutely. Workers are working in dangerous conditions. Should prisoners be allowed to unionize? Yes.
You believe that too? Okay.
It's vital that workers
should prisoners be provided with health insurance, matched by their employer?
Workers should be covered by workplace health and safety guarantees. Incarcerated people.
But what about health insurance?
Incarcerated people are already guaranteed a basic standard of health care. That is already guaranteed by U.S. law.
Health insurance.
They're already guaranteed that, even though the medical care they receive is usually substandard, and when they're injured or on the job, often receive substandard care. They are already guaranteed by law basic health care protections while incarcerated.
When? What crime did you commit?
Second-degree murder and attempted second-degree murder.
Okay. Who did you murder?
Jeffrey Owens.
Jeffrey Owen?
Yes, sir.
Why did you murder him?
I was a 16-year-old kid. Me and DeWan had a confrontation, and Jeffrey was an innocent bystander.
Okay. So you shot Jeffrey by accident?
Yes, sir.
You intended to murder somebody else?
I was defending myself against DeWan Lewis.
Okay. Mr. Lewis, you shot at Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
And you missed?
Yes, sir.
And you hit Mr. What was his name?
Mr. Jeffrey Owens.
Mr. Owens.
Yes, sir.
Did Mr. Owens have a mother?
I think everybody born in the world has a mother.
Yeah. But was his mother alive when you killed him?
She's still alive.
Okay. Did Mr. Owens have a father
Yes,
who was
sir.
alive when you killed him?
I don't know about his father's.
You never checked?
I mean, as a prisoner in Louisiana, you cannot check on those type of things.
Did Mr. Owens have any brothers or sisters?
Yes, he did.
Okay. How many?
I don't know.
Okay. You mentioned that your mother cried when you were sent to Angola. Do you know how Mr. Owens' mother felt? Have you ever reached out to them?
May I ask you a question, Senator?
Well, answer mine first.
I would answer yours.
Okay.
And you asking me questions that an incarcerated person cannot answer. I don't know what Jeffrey Owens' mother did, but human anatomy tells me that, yes, his mother had to cry because she lost a son that she brought into the world. Yes, his father, if he was living, he should have cried. His brother cried.
Did you ever reach out to Mr. Owen's family?
Sir, you're a senator from Louisiana. If a person like me that was incarcerated reach out to any person that's a victim, that's a sentence. You go to prison for that. And I was already in prison, so that's a different sentence.
So you couldn't write?
By law, you cannot reach out to the victim or the victim's family.
Well, I will tell you, I came today because I thought we were going to have and I hope we were going to have a rational discussion based on empirical evidence on a very complex, nuanced subject. I'm disappointed, Ms. Turner, Professor. I just don't think these emotional arguments are at all productive in us trying to solve a problem. People are in prison for a reason. I believe in free will. I get the impression that the ACLU position and the professor's position, I don't know about Mr. Wynn's position, is that you feel sorry for these folks who are in prison. I wish they weren't there too, but they're there for a reason that really hurt somebody. In Mr. Wynn's case, he murdered somebody. He actually killed somebody by accident. He meant to kill this person and he shot this other person. He could have killed two. And I'm kind of disappointed. And I just don't think we're going to solve this problem with emotional arguments from people who don't believe in free will and responsibility. That's just my point of view. But I thank you all for being here.
Then Senator Kennedy pushed further. Should prisoners get 401ks? Should they get retirement benefits? Should they get paid vacations? And while Miss Turner dodged a bit, her whole argument basically says yes. She wants criminals who've broken the law to have access to the same benefits as hard-working, law-abiding citizens. What happened to consequences for your actions? She even went so far as to say prisoners should have the right to unionize, that they should get workers' comp if they're injured. Folks, I don't know about you, but when you commit a crime and land in prison, your job isn't supposed to be about luxury workplace protections. It's supposed to be about paying your debt to society. Now let's talk about health care. She claimed prisoners already get basic health care guaranteed by law. And she's right, they already do. But instead of acknowledging that, she spun into an argument that their health care is substandard. Folks, I've got veterans in this country fighting tooth and nail for decent health care. I got working families who can barely afford a doctor visit. But the ACLU is here crying about better care for violent offenders? Where's the justice in that? Miss Turner tried to argue that paying prisoners minimum wage would somehow have fiscal benefits for America. Let me tell you something. That's the same tired socialist argument they use for everything. Spend more now, it'll pay off later. Guess what? It never pays off. It drains our system. It destroys incentives, and it punishes taxpayers. And here's what this is really about. The left doesn't want accountability. They don't want consequences. They want to blur the line between criminal and citizen, between right and wrong. If prisoners are making the same as hardworking folks outside, what's the point of following a law? It's another step toward dismantling the justice system and rewarding criminals over victims. I'll tell you what I believe. Prison labor should not be glamorous. It should not be a career path. It should not come with a retirement plan or union dues. It should be about discipline, structure, and accountability. Yes, if you work in prison, you can get a small stipend, enough for commissary or restitution of victims, but not minimum wage, not benefits, and not the same perks as the people who go to work every morning, pay their taxes, and obey the law. And that's what's missing from this entire debate. Nobody at the ACLU is talking about the victims of crime. The small business owner who got robbed, the mother who lost her child to violence, the families destroyed by drugs and theft. Those people don't get a guaranteed paycheck. They don't get free health care. They don't get a do-over. But the ACLU wants to bend over backwards to protect the people who caused the damage in the first place. So here's my message to you, patriots. We cannot let this ideology take over America. We cannot let the radical left normalize the idea that prison is just another workplace. If you want a paycheck, if you want benefits, if you want a 401k, then don't break the law. Simple as that. Actions have consequences. And in this country, law-abiding citizens come first, not convicted criminals. This is the United States of America. Freedom, responsibility, and accountability go hand in hand. And if we forget that If we start treating criminals better than citizens, then we've lost the very foundation of justice. Stay vigilant, stay patriotic, and don't let them rewrite the rules of right and wrong. This is Liberty Trigger, signing off. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.